Urgent, surprising news about Curry and Warriors players about Luka Dončić is revealed. Stay until the end to find out everything. But before starting the video, leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any important news about the Lakers. On February 2, 2025, something truly unthinkable happened in the NBA. A blockbuster trade between two of the league's most iconic franchises, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks, stunned players, fans, and analysts alike. In a move that no one saw coming, the Lakers acquired superstar Luka Dončić, sending Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a future first-round pick to Dallas in return. The news hit the basketball world like an earthquake, and nowhere was the impact more visible than at a charity event being held by the Golden State Warriors at the Chase Center in San Francisco. Several key figures from the Warriors were present at this poker night fundraiser, including Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and other players and staff members. As the evening progressed in its usual light-hearted, community-driven atmosphere, everything changed the moment Curry looked down at his phone. Curry's real-time reaction. In a now-viral video uploaded by the YouTube channel Alan Keating, Curry is seen staring at his phone screen, visibly stunned. His facial expression goes from calm to completely shocked as he processes the information. Within seconds he turns his screen toward others. Just moments later, Buddy Hield, also attending the event, walks up and asks, "Did you see that?" The disbelief is clear in his voice. The two exchange glances before Hield directs his attention to Kirk Lacob, the Warriors' assistant general manager, urgently asking, "Is this real? There's no way this is true, right?" Curry doesn't even have to say anything yet. His face says it all. Then enters Draymond Green, known for his energy and passion both on and off the court. Upon noticing Curry's reaction and the phone in his hand, Green blurts out, "What? What?" as he leans in to read the headline himself. Finally, Lacob turns to Curry and asks the question on everyone's mind. "Is that post fake?" Curry, without hesitation, replies, "No. It's real." Shams breaks the internet. This surreal moment unfolded as part of a poker charity event being hosted at the Warriors' home arena. The timing of the news couldn't have been more dramatic. The headline dropped from NBA insider Shams Charania, who broke the story on X, formerly Twitter. So unbelievable was the report that fans and even players assumed it was some kind of prank or misinformation. But then Shams followed up with a second tweet. "Yes, this is real. Luka Dončić has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers." Within minutes, NBA players, past and present, began posting reactions online. Some were hilarious, others stunned, but all carried the same message. No one could believe it. Why this trade was so shocking. Luka Dončić had long been seen as the face of the Mavericks franchise. Despite frustrations over team performance, few imagined he would actually be traded, and certainly not to a franchise as storied and media-heavy as the Lakers. On the other side, Anthony Davis had been one of the pillars of the Lakers since their 2020 championship. For Los Angeles to part with him meant serious ambition and serious risk. What made it even more surprising was the timing, mid-season, with both teams fighting for playoff positioning. It wasn't just a trade, it was a reshaping of two franchises' futures in the middle of the battle. Curry and Green, caught off guard. Back at the Chase Center, Curry and Green were clearly affected by the moment. As longtime veterans of the league, they've seen their share of surprises, but this was different. The trade didn't just alter the landscape of the Western Conference, it altered the tone of the entire season. Though they had no direct involvement, the Warriors knew instantly that the postseason path had just gotten more complicated. A Lakers team with Luka Dončić was not something to be taken lightly. And yet, that night, there was nothing to do but sit in disbelief, watching a new chapter of NBA history begin, right in the middle of a poker tournament. As the dust began to settle from the shocking trade that sent Luka Dončić to the Lakers and Anthony Davis to the Mavericks, the NBA community erupted in disbelief, speculation, and raw emotion. What had started as a normal evening quickly turned into one of the most memorable nights in league history. The ripple effect was immediate, and every corner of the basketball world reacted, from active players to retired legends, from analysts to die-hard fans. What made this trade different wasn't just the size of the names involved, but how few saw it coming. The secrecy, the magnitude, and the timing created the perfect storm for a league-wide frenzy. Social media explosion. The NBA's digital world lit up like wildfire. Players started posting cryptic emojis, short clips, and unfiltered takes on X, Instagram stories, and even TikTok. One player simply posted, "What just happened?" Flushed face. Former players like Dwayne Wade, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce added their own spin to the moment. Some praising the Lakers' ambition, others questioning the Mavericks' thinking. LeBron James, notably quiet in the first few hours, later reposted the news with just one word: legacy. The media storm. The following day, sports networks entered full-blown emergency coverage. ESPN, TNT, FS1, everyone scrambled to gather reactions, insider scoops, and breakdowns. Sports podcasts released late-night emergency episodes titled things like Luka to LA, Emergency Pod, Dallas just gave up their future? Can the Lakers win it all now? In every segment, one thing was clear. No one saw it coming, and now everyone had to recalibrate their expectations. Questions flood the league. With Luka Dončić now a Laker, 1,000 questions surfaced overnight. How would he fit alongside LeBron and the Lakers system? Was this a move for the present or a setup for the post-LeBron era? What message was Dallas sending by moving their franchise cornerstone? Were injuries, especially Davis's, a factor in triggering the trade? Insiders speculated that internal tensions between Doncic and Mavericks management had quietly been building. Others suggested Dallas saw a chance to reset while still remaining competitive. But perhaps the biggest question of all: did the Lakers just become championship favorites again? Golden State watches closely. Meanwhile, back in San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors were watching everything unfold with mixed emotions. Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, still processing the initial news, now turned their attention toward the postseason implications. The Western Conference was already tight, with teams like the Timberwolves, Nuggets, Clippers, and Thunder jockeying for position. Now, with Doncic wearing purple and gold, the Lakers had not only added firepower but made a psychological statement. They were all in. As competitors and veterans, Curry and Green knew exactly what this meant. In the NBA, momentum matters, and the Lakers had just seized it. Mavericks under fire. Dallas, meanwhile, faced intense backlash. Fans, already frustrated with early playoff exits and lack of consistent support around Doncic, felt betrayed. Jerseys were burned. Comments flooded every Mavericks social post. Sports talk shows questioned if this was the worst decision in franchise history or a calculated risk that could pay off. The Mavericks front office tried to spin the narrative, suggesting they had acquired a proven all-star in Anthony Davis, a developing piece in Max Christie, and retained long-term flexibility with a new first-round pick. But words weren't enough to stop the bleeding. The Mavericks weren't just losing Luka. They were losing their identity. Shams confirms the deal again. To quell any remaining doubt, NBA insider Shams Charania posted again the next morning, doubling down on the facts. Yes, the deal is complete. Luka Dončić is officially a Los Angeles Laker. Anthony Davis has been sent to the Mavericks. Full trade details coming shortly. Still, many had to read it twice. Curry's focus sharpens. Back with the Warriors, Curry knew things were changing fast. He was no stranger to dynasties forming or power shifts in the West. But this one felt different. He wasn't just watching new rivals emerge. He was watching a generational peer join a legacy franchise, with the potential to dominate for years. Time to lock in, he was heard telling a teammate later that evening. The poker game was long over. Now the real stakes had begun. The buzz didn't fade. In fact, it only intensified. As the basketball world struggled to process the most surprising trade in recent NBA memory, Luka Doncic's official arrival in Los Angeles took center stage. The Lakers, a franchise built on superstardom, now had another marquee name walking into the Crypto.com arena, and the moment was nothing short of cinematic. 4 days, helicopters hovered. News vans lined the streets. And when Doncic landed at LAX, escorted by security and Lakers representatives, the energy in the air was electric. The King had just welcomed a Maverick. Welcome to Hollywood. the Lakers spared no effort. Within 48 hours of the trade announcement, a press conference was held, complete with purple and gold backdrops, team executives, and a room full of media figures from around the globe. Luka Dončić entered in a tailored suit, Lakers cap pulled low, but his eyes carried the weight of the moment. Sitting beside GM Rob Pelinka and head coach Darvin Ham, he took a deep breath before addressing the room. "I'm honored to be here. I know what this jersey means. I'm here to win." Short, measured, but powerful. Immediately, comparisons to LeBron James's 2010 Miami introduction or Shaquille O'Neal's 1996 Lakers debut began circulating online. This wasn't just a trade. This was a new era. The first meeting, LeBron and Luka. Behind closed doors, Doncic met with LeBron James, arguably the most influential player of the past 2 decades and the face of the Lakers since 2018. While cameras weren't allowed, reports quickly surfaced. LeBron greeted Luka personally. They spoke privately for nearly an hour. Sources say LeBron told him, "This is your time now. I've got your back." Social media exploded again with imagined scenarios of Luka and LeBron running pick and rolls, orchestrating fourth-quarter comebacks, and challenging the balance of power in the West. It was clear, this was more than a team-up. It was a passing of the torch in real time. Chemistry check. Practice begins. 2 days later, Doncic hit the practice floor for the first time with his new teammates. The gym was closed to the public, but clips eventually leaked, showing Luka laughing with Austin Reeves, draining deep threes in rhythm, and running drills with LeBron and Rui Hachimura. Insiders described his impact as instant. Head coach Darvin Ham noted in a press scrum, "It's like he's been here all season. He's a basketball genius and our guys are feeding off it." The challenge? Building chemistry fast. The playoffs were only months away and every possession would count. Shifting the narrative. The narrative around the trade also began to shift. While initial reactions were emotional and chaotic, some analysts now praised the move as bold and visionary. The Lakers knew the window was closing and acted aggressively. This isn't just about 2025, it's about securing the future. Luka is a top 5 player. He makes any team better. Even former critics of the Lakers front office were now applauding the courage it took to move a cornerstone like Anthony Davis in exchange for a younger, ball-dominant star. Still doubts remained. Could Luka adjust to the pressure of LA? Could 2 high IQ players like Doncic and LeBron share the floor efficiently? Would egos eventually collide? Back in Dallas, fallout deepens. While LA prepared for a title run, Dallas continued to scramble for answers. Anthony Davis, now in a Mavericks jersey, looked noticeably uncomfortable during his first press conference. He praised the organization but avoided deeper questions about Luka or the sudden trade. Fans still felt betrayed and ticket sales reportedly dipped in the following week. Even more concerning, Davis arrived nursing a lingering foot injury, casting doubt over how soon he could contribute. Without a healthy star and with Kyrie Irving struggling to carry the load, Dallas's postseason dreams were slipping. The league takes notice. Across the NBA, front offices began reassessing their strategies. The Lakers had pushed their chips to the center of the table, and that put pressure on everyone else. Rival GMs started calling around, seeing what moves could be made before the deadline. Teams like Phoenix, Denver, and Golden State weren't going to sit quietly. The entire Western Conference had just been shaken, and every contender knew that if the Lakers clicked, they could be unstoppable. Meanwhile, Stephen Curry and the Warriors had quietly begun talks of their own blockbuster, something to counter the storm brewing in Los Angeles. But that's a story for another chapter. The air inside the Crypto.com arena buzzed with nervous energy. Not since LeBron James's debut in 2018, or even Kobe Bryant's farewell tour, had a game felt this heavy with expectation. Luka Dončić, now officially a Laker, was moments away from making his debut against the Chicago Bulls. The arena was packed, celebrities filled courtside seats, and merchandise booths were selling out of Doncic jerseys before tip-off. Los Angeles, a city that thrives on spectacle, was ready for Showtime 2.0. A star steps into the spotlight. From the moment Luka walked through the tunnel, fans rose to their feet. Wearing the iconic number 77 in purple and gold, he looked focused but calm, nodding to teammates and exchanging a quick handshake with LeBron James before warm-ups. Coach Darvin Ham had made it clear. Luka would share ball-handling duties with LeBron, and run the offense for extended stretches. And when the game began, it didn't take long for the magic to start. First quarter, silence the doubts. Just 3 minutes into the game, Luka pulled up from 30 feet and drained a deep three. The crowd roared. On the next possession, he no-looked a laser pass to Austin Reeves in the corner for another bucket. By the end of the first quarter, Doncic had 12 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Commentators were already losing their minds. "This is not normal," said TNT's Kevin Harlan. "This is something else." LeBron and Luka. A new duo is born. While some doubted the chemistry between two ball-dominant stars, LeBron and Luka clicked instantly. They played off each other with a blend of respect and trust. When Luka pushed the tempo, LeBron spaced the floor. When LeBron operated in the post, Luka cut or set screens. At one point in the second quarter, Luka tossed a high alley-oop that LeBron slammed home with force. The building shook. Cameras caught LeBron saying, "Let's go, kid," as they ran back on defense. Hollywood reacts. The stars courtside weren't quiet either. From Jack Nicholson to Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, and Bad Bunny, reactions lit up social media. NBA Twitter was in a frenzy, with hashtags like #LukaLaker and #Lakeshow77 trending worldwide. Former Lakers great Magic Johnson tweeted, "This is what legends are made of. Luka is ready for the spotlight." Second half, closing time. The Bulls fought back in the third quarter, cutting the lead to just 2. That's when Luka took over. He scored 14 straight points, including a step-back 3 over 2 defenders and a slick Euro step layup that brought the crowd to its feet again. He wasn't just fitting in, he was dominating. Final stat line: 35 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 turnover. The Lakers won 118-104. It was a statement game, not just for Luka but for the entire franchise. The locker room buzz. After the win, the locker room atmosphere was electric. Teammates embraced Luka, who kept things humble in front of the media. "It's one game. I'm just getting started. But I love it here," he told reporters. LeBron, on the other hand, was more direct. "He's a killer. I knew it. We all knew it. And he's just 25. The West feels the heat." The rest of the league didn't ignore what had just happened. Within 24 hours, Phoenix Suns insiders leaked that they were exploring trades to add depth. Denver Nuggets coach Mike Malone admitted post-game, "The West just got tougher." Golden State's GM was seen courtside scouting players before their next matchup, a rare move for that time of year. Luka's debut had changed the tone of the season. The Lakers were no longer a fading dynasty, they were contenders again, and the league had to respond. A new chapter begins. For Lakers fans, hope had returned. For Luka, the chance to build a legacy in a city known for icons was now in full swing. But with expectations comes pressure, and Luka knew one game wouldn't be enough. "They'll judge me in June," he said. "And I'm ready for that." The stage was set. The legend was underway. While the world was still digesting the Lakers' shocking acquisition of Luka Dončić, something was stirring in San Francisco. The Golden State Warriors, long considered one of the smartest and most reactionary franchises in the NBA, had been quiet, at least on the surface. But behind closed doors at the Chase Center, meetings were running late, phones were buzzing, and one goal had been made clear. Respond, and respond big. A spark reignites. The Warriors had started the 2024-25 season slowly. Draymond Green had served another early suspension. Klay Thompson struggled with injuries and inconsistent shooting. Stephen Curry, as brilliant as ever, was carrying the load, but it wasn't enough. The dynasty felt like it was fading. But then the Doncic trade dropped, and everything changed. According to insiders, as soon as the trade went public, Warriors owner Joe Lacob called GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. and said, "We're not watching this season slip away." Behind the scenes, targeting Butler. Rumors had already begun circling that the Miami Heat were open to exploring trades, especially after another disappointing playoff exit. With Jimmy Butler entering the final stretch of his contract and reportedly frustrated, the opportunity presented itself. The Warriors pounced. Within days, a blockbuster deal was finalized. Golden State receives Jimmy Butler. Miami receives Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, 2 future first-round picks, and a pick swap. It was a steep price, especially losing Kuminga, who had finally started to blossom. But in the eyes of the Warriors front office, it was worth it. Butler brought grit, experience, fire, and a chip on his shoulder. First day in the Bay. When Jimmy Butler arrived in the Bay Area, he wasted no time setting the tone. In his first media appearance, he told reporters, "I'm not here to mess around. They wanted me for a reason. I'm gonna show them why." He met with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Steve Kerr the same day. According to sources, the conversation was brief but intense. Butler reportedly told Curry, "Let's go win one. Now." Warriors practice. A new edge. At practice, the impact was instant. Butler's intensity raised the temperature of every drill. Younger players described the shift as military-like. Draymond, already one of the most vocal leaders in basketball, now had a partner in passion. Steve Kerr, a master at managing egos, welcomed the chaos. "We needed that fire," he told the press. "Jimmy's going to push everyone, including Steph." In scrimmages, Curry and Butler connected like old friends. Curry's movement, spacing, and gravity opened the floor for Butler's isolations and mid-range mastery. Butler, in return, took pressure off Curry by guarding the opposing team's best wing player, reigniting the rivalry. It didn't take long for NBA fans to realize what was happening. Lakers vs. Warriors was back. In a big way. With Luka Dončić now leading the purple and gold and Jimmy Butler reinforcing the Bay, the California rivalry had evolved into a full-blown war for supremacy. Media outlets ran wild. Coast clash. Luka vs. Steph, Jimmy vs. LeBron. Dynasty defended. Warriors aren't done yet. Playoff preview? Warriors-Lakers heating up. Tickets for their next matchup at Chase Center sold out in minutes. Resale prices soared past $3,000 for lower bowl seats. Impact across the league. The moves made by the Lakers and Warriors sent shockwaves across the NBA. Denver Nuggets doubled down on their core, refusing trade offers and trusting in Jokic and Murray. Phoenix Suns made minor adjustments but quietly began exploring options for Bradley Beal. Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics stayed put, but team executives began quietly preparing for a potential finals clash with one of the two California powers. Even retired legends took notice. Shaquille O'Neal commented on TNT, "This feels like 2016 again. And I'm here for it." Still, questions remain. The Warriors had taken a massive swing. But would it be enough? Could Butler stay healthy through a grueling playoff run? Would the locker room culture remain stable with two strong leaders in Draymond and Jimmy? Could Steph carry another postseason load at age 37? Meanwhile, the Lakers were surging with Luka. The stage was set for a colossal confrontation. But before the playoffs, there was one more regular season showdown coming, and both teams were ready. March 23, 2025. Los Angeles Lakers vs. Golden State Warriors, live from the Chase Center. What was once a compelling coastal rivalry had transformed into a headline-grabbing, full-throttle showdown. The additions of Luka Dončić and Jimmy Butler had injected new life and new tension into a matchup already rich with storylines. It wasn't just a game. It was a statement. Pre-game electricity. The pre-game atmosphere was surreal. Reporters lined the hallways, celebrities dotted the sidelines, and social media was already ablaze before tip-off. Drake and Jay-Z sat courtside. Stephen A. Smith declared on ESPN, "This might be a preview of the Western Conference Finals." Luka arrived in a sleek black suit. Butler in full game gear under his coat. In the tunnel, Luka reportedly looked at LeBron and said, "Let's take care of business." Draymond Green nearby smirked and muttered, "Not in our house." First quarter, tactical fireworks. The opening minutes were like chess at lightning speed. Luka Dončić ran high pick and rolls to perfection, drawing two defenders and feeding cutters like Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. Stephen Curry, unfazed, answered with deep threes and off-ball movement that exhausted the Lakers' defense. Jimmy Butler locked in on Luka, chasing him full court, bumping him at every screen. Each possession was a battle of will and IQ. The Warriors built a quick 10-point lead, but a barrage of transition buckets from the Lakers closed the gap before the quarter ended 29-28 in favor of Golden State. Second quarter, tempers rise. Tensions exploded midway through the second. After a hard foul by Draymond Green on Jared Vanderbilt, Luka stepped in, face-to-face with Draymond. Words were exchanged. Benches stood up. Referees issued double technicals, but the fire had been lit. Jimmy Butler clapped in Luka's face. LeBron shoved back on the next possession, drawing a foul on a spin move into the paint. "That's playoff basketball in March," said Reggie Miller on the broadcast. At halftime, the Lakers led 55-53. Third quarter, stars take over. The third quarter was pure star power. Stephen Curry erupted with 3 consecutive threes, one from near half court. The Chase Center erupted in chants of MVP. But Luka responded with a silky step back over Butler, followed by a behind-the-back dime to Reeves. Then came a hammer dunk in transition that had the Lakers bench jumping. Meanwhile, LeBron James and Jimmy Butler were locked in a physical duel, elbows, box-outs, post fades and all. It felt like Game 7 intensity. Heading into the final quarter, tied at 84. Fourth quarter, ice in the veins. The fourth began with role players stepping up. Gary Payton forced 2 turnovers on Luka. Max Christie hit a crucial corner 3. Klay Thompson, quiet until then, drilled a long 2 to retake the lead. Then in the final 2 minutes, it became Luka versus Steph. With 1:24 left, Curry hit a floater off glass to go up 2. Luka came back down and sank a leaning mid-range jumper with contact. And the foul. Tie game, 102-102. The building shook. Final possession. With 14 seconds left, the Warriors had the ball. The crowd stood. Steve Kerr drew up a play for Curry. Curry dribbled, used a screen, doubled. He flipped the ball to Jimmy Butler on the wing. Butler drove into the paint, spun, and launched a fading jumper over Reeves. Swish. Warriors 104, Lakers 102. 1 second left. Lakers called timeout. Out of the timeout, Luka curled off a screen, caught, turned, fired a one-legged 3. Rim. Backboard. Game over. Post-game reactions. The celebration was loud but professional. Butler chest bumped Draymond. Curry grinned but held back. Luka walked off, nodding with respect but clearly fueled by the loss. Post-game interviews were filled with tension-coated admiration. LeBron. "It's a war. That's what you want. We'll see them again." Curry. "We respect the hell out of those guys. But we're not giving anything up." Luka. "Next time, different result." League response. The game didn't just entertain, it shook the standings. The win gave Golden State a 2-1 season lead over LA. It put them just half a game apart in the Western Conference standings. Analysts began debating which team had the edge in a 7-game series. Social media was flooded with clips, takes, and breakdowns. ESPN declared it the game of the year. The road ahead. The playoffs loomed just weeks away. Both teams were still climbing. Both fan bases believed a title was within reach. And now, both had circled a potential Western Conference Finals clash, one that seemed inevitable. The regular season had come to a close, and the stage was set for the 2025 NBA playoffs. For both the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers, the journey ahead promised greatness, or heartbreak. The Western Conference had never been more stacked, and both teams carried heavy expectations following their blockbuster trades. Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler were ready to prove their chemistry could lead to a title. Luka Dončić and LeBron James were on a mission to silence the doubters. And everyone else? Just trying to survive. Warriors vs. Rockets, Round 1. The Golden State Warriors earned the number 4 seed and drew the Houston Rockets in the first round. A young, explosive squad led by Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, and rising star Amen Thompson. but experience and discipline gave the Warriors an early edge. Game 1 was a statement. Curry dropped 38 points, including 7 three-pointers, while Butler added 22 and 8 assists. The Rockets struggled to contain Golden State's pace and off-ball movement. Final score: 118-103. Game 2 was closer. Houston adjusted defensively, forcing turnovers and crashing the boards. But Draymond Green stepped up with a near triple-double, anchoring the defense. The Warriors escaped with a gritty 105-99 win. Game 3 in Houston was the trap. The Rockets exploded offensively, with Jabari Smith Jr. hitting 6 threes. Curry struggled from deep and Butler was in foul trouble. Houston took the game 114-108. But the Warriors adjusted. Game 4 saw Klay Thompson turn back the clock with a 30-point game. Butler dominated in the mid-range, and the Warriors reclaimed control, winning 116-104. In Game 5, back at Chase Center, Curry closed the series with a vintage performance. 34 points, 9 assists, 0 turnovers. The Warriors advanced to the Western Conference semifinals, winning the series 4-1. Lakers vs. Pelicans, Round 1. The Los Angeles Lakers entered as the number 5 seed and faced the tough, physical New Orleans Pelicans, led by Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram. Questions loomed around the Lakers' chemistry and Luka's fit alongside LeBron. They answered quickly. Game 1 was a masterclass from Luka. 28 points, 13 assists and absolute control of tempo. Zion struggled defensively, and the Lakers cruised to a 111-97 win. But Game 2 flipped. The Pelicans fought back behind Zion's 33-point performance, and Herb Jones clamped Luka late in the fourth. New Orleans tied the series 1-1. Games 3 and 4 in LA showcased the Lakers' depth. Max Christie stepped up defensively, Rui Hachimura provided key bench scoring, and LeBron took over the fourth quarters. The Lakers won both, taking a 3-1 lead. In Game 5, Luka put on a show. 36 points, including a dagger 3 from the logo to seal the win. The Lakers eliminated New Orleans 4-1. Rising pressure and media frenzy. With both the Lakers and Warriors advancing, the media frenzy began. ESPN ran daily countdowns to a potential Lakers-Warriors Western Conference Finals. Former players debated matchups on shows like Inside the NBA. Ticket prices skyrocketed, and fans flooded arenas wearing new Luka and Butler jerseys. Every press conference asked, "Are you thinking about the Warriors/Lakers already?" Both teams denied it. But the world knew what was coming. Semifinals, the final test. The Warriors now faced the Phoenix Suns, with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. A top-heavy team but deadly when hot. The Lakers faced the Denver Nuggets, the defending champions, led by the ever-dominant Nikola Jokic. Both series would test their grit. Warriors vs. Suns. Game 1. Curry outdueled Booker in a thrilling shootout, Warriors win. Game 2. Durant exploded for 42, Suns even the series. Game 3. Butler shut down Beal while Curry hit a buzzer beater, Warriors up 2-1. Game 4. Suns clawed back with Durant carrying them, tied 2-2. Game 5. A slugfest at Chase Center. Draymond Green's defense proved pivotal, Warriors win by 6. Game 6. The Warriors closed it in Phoenix as Curry dropped 33 and Butler hit clutch free throws. Warriors win the series 4-2. Lakers vs. Nuggets. It was a brutal series. Game 1. Jokic dominated, Nuggets led. Game 2. LeBron responded with a triple-double, Lakers tied it. Game 3. Denver's home court energy fueled another Jokic clinic. Game 4. Luka posted 40 and 12, tying the series again. Game 5. The Lakers edged out a 3-point win with LeBron's step-back dagger. Game 6. The most emotional game of the year. In front of a roaring LA crowd, Luka and LeBron combined for 68 points. The Lakers closed the series. Lakers win the series 4-2. The battle is set. After grueling paths and unforgettable moments, the stage is now officially set. Golden State Warriors vs. Los Angeles Lakers, 2025 Western Conference Finals. Curry vs. Luka. Butler versus LeBron. Legacy versus destiny. The most anticipated playoff series in recent memory was finally real. The 2025 Western Conference Finals had finally arrived, igniting passions across the NBA. The Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers, two iconic franchises with legacies as rich as the trophies lining their halls, were set to collide in a battle that would decide who advanced to the NBA Finals. Game 1, a statement of intent. The series tipped off at the Chase Center, the Warriors' home court. The atmosphere was electric, the crowd roaring with anticipation. Stephen Curry was in vintage form, raining down three-pointers and orchestrating the offense with pinpoint precision. Luka Dončić responded with his usual flair, driving aggressively to the basket and hitting clutch mid-range shots. Jimmy Butler locked in defensively, contesting every shot, while LeBron James displayed his veteran savvy, controlling the pace. Despite Luka's 35 points and LeBron's double-double, the Warriors took Game 1 in a tightly contested 118-112 victory. Game 2, Lakers fight back. In Game 2, the Lakers adjusted defensively, focusing on limiting Curry's space and disrupting Green's playmaking. LeBron took over in the fourth quarter, scoring 15 points in the final 7 minutes. Luka's court vision shined with 14 assists. The Lakers' bench contributed crucial minutes, with Max Christie hitting multiple three-pointers. The Lakers eked out a 110-105 win, leveling the series. Games 3 and 4, home court exchange. Traveling to Los Angeles, the intensity escalated. Game 3 was a defensive battle. Butler's physicality frustrated Luka, but Curry's sharpshooting kept the Warriors close. The Lakers won 104-99. Game 4 saw Curry explode with 41 points, including a game-winning three-pointer with 3 seconds left to force a Game 5. The series was tied 2-2 with neither team giving an inch. Game 5, the turning point. Back in Golden State, Game 5 proved decisive. The Warriors executed flawlessly. Draymond Green's defensive leadership and energy set the tone. Curry scored 38 points, showing ice-cold efficiency. Luka fought valiantly but was limited by Butler's relentless defense. The Warriors won 120-108, taking a 3-2 series lead. Game 6, Lakers' last stand. Facing elimination, the Lakers showed heart in Game 6. LeBron and Luka combined for 70 points. The Lakers' defense tightened, forcing crucial turnovers. Max Christie hit a pivotal three to give the Lakers a late lead. But the Warriors remained composed. Curry hit 2 clutch free throws in the final minute. The Warriors edged the game 115-112. Warriors advance, Lakers fall short. With the victory in Game 6, the Warriors clinched the Western Conference title and punched their ticket to the NBA Finals. The Lakers, though disappointed, showed promise for the future. Aftermath and legacy. Stephen Curry was named Western Conference Finals MVP, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest playoff performers. Luka Dončić's star continued to rise despite the loss. Jimmy Butler's defensive efforts earned praise league-wide. LeBron James hinted this might be his final deep playoff run, promising to mentor the next generation. The finals await. The Warriors prepared to face the Eastern Conference champions in a showdown that would capture the world's attention. For now, the spotlight shone on Golden State, a team that overcame adversity, embraced new heroes, and proved their dynasty was far from over.